All right, so you guys are here because you want to know how to earn more revenue or start earning revenue via live streaming, and I know how to do that. So before we get into that, I want to make a couple disclaimers. First, content is king. If you provide really good content and you build a relationship with your audience, you are going to be more successful in all of these things. Keep that in mind moving forward. This isn't just you throw a bunch of stuff up, but you're a bad streamer. You have no, relationship with your audience. Like they don't care. Then they don't need to do that. Another thing to keep in mind is that it does require some work on your part. Call to actions are not a bad thing. Don't shove it down people's throat. Don't force it. Don't be really clingy or needy about it, but let people know, hey guys, I have this available if you want to do it, right? And view it through their eyes, right? Don't just think like, if you want to give me money, but kind of like, if you want to make me put under on my head, you'll figure it out later. And things like that, then these are ways that you can do that. And then they have money and your audience can make that decision for themselves as to how they want to support. The third thing is going to be to know your audience. Realize that they will all want to support you in different ways if they choose to support you. Meaning some people, just purely for the entertainment value you bring them, will put a tip down there in your donation panel. They will subscribe to your channel just because they like your content. Other people want something a little more real, material item, something tangible, such as like a t-shirt or a digital item like Streamloots or something like that. So take all these things, remember them as we move forward in this, but I know you guys are getting impatient, so let's just jump right into the first thing, and that's going to be Twitch. So first things first, let's talk about the ways that you can earn revenue through Twitch. So as an affiliate, you can do that via subscriptions, advertisements, and bits. So starting with subscriptions, you're going to earn 50% of each subscription. That goes up the tiers. So if you get a tier 1 sub, which is $4.99, you're going to get half of that, aka about $2.50. If you get a tier 3 sub, which goes for $24.99, you will only get half of that, about $12.50. So that is something to keep in mind, that you will get 50% of the money spent by the person subscribing for each sub that you get. It's the same if somebody gifts you a sub or gifts somebody a sub to your channel, rather, you will get 50% of that. So with bits, they do not take a percentage because they took an upfront cost from the person purchasing the bit. So for instance, I believe it's if somebody buys, 100 bits, they pay $1.40 or something like that. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's kind of how they do it. Up front, they pay an upcharge to purchase the bits. That is how Amazon makes their money on that. Therefore, if somebody gives you 100 bits, you make $1. Each bit is 1 penny, 100 pennies is $1. You get what I'm saying. Next is advertising. So advertising on Twitch is not great. You typically hear that it is one of the worst in terms of the cut that you get and how much you can make from it, especially as a smaller streamer. However, it can add up over time, especially if you are running ads on a somewhat regular basis. You can run a 60-second ad every 21 or 22 minutes. And if you do that enough, even with only like 15, 20, 30 viewers, you can get up to maybe an extra $30, $50, $60 a month. So just depending on how many people are seeing that ad and so on and so forth, it can add up, but it's not going to be monumental, but it could be a little nudge in the right direction. So run some ads. It also stops from putting pre-rolls on your channel if you have run an ad in the last 20 minutes or so. If you run a 60-second ad for the next 20 minutes, people will not see a pre-roll when they join your stream, meaning they can jump straight in and they don't have to watch an ad first, which of course we know people who have to see an ad first sometimes bounce. I believe last time I heard the statistics, it was about 3 out of every 10 people who click on your stream leave if they see an ad. So that's a 30% bounce rate. So let's move on now. So now that I've told you about subscriptions, ads, and bits, I'm going to show you my breakdown of the last 30 days. So I've made roughly $663.32 via Twitch alone. This isn't exactly my highest month, it's not my lowest month. It's a decent month. Now, something to focus on here, which is going to transition us into the next part, is the extensions portion. See there, I've made $41.60 via extensions, and that is my 80%, because with the way extensions work is you make 80% for most, and I think it might actually be all. I haven't fully checked up on that. I'm pretty sure it's 80% for you, 20% for the developer, aka the people who created that extension. That seems good. That is fair. So basically, people can use the different extensions. They can use bits via those extensions. You make 80% of that. There are a plethora of extensions, a lot of really fun ones, super engaging ones, more laid back ones. You can do ones that don't make money at all, that are just like trackers for your stats, so on and so forth. but there are two in particular that I use and I find to be very, very useful. So I'm going to tell you about those, but you are not limited to them. There are definitely other options that you can check out. Look into them, figure out the ones that your stream is most likely to use. Your audience, you need to know them. You need to learn what they like, what they're most likely to use, how they're most likely to support, and use that, right? You know your audience. You're with them whenever they're in your stream. Learn from them, learn about them, and use that information to choose the best extensions. So let's get into the two that I like the most and I'm currently using. So here you are on the About Me section of my page. I'm offline, so of course you got to click on that to be able to see it. But the two extensions that I'm using are your soundboard, which you can select a lot of different options here. People can scroll through, choose, you set individual bit prices in there. So, you know, the ones that you think are going to be more drawing, like orgasm, you can make higher, right? You don't want it to be constantly played. It's going to get obnoxious. You want to also earn more revenue from it, because it is very loud and very obnoxious. So you raise the price on that a little bit. You can adjust this all you want. You can add a lot of different fun ones. People can sample them down here, but they won't play live on the stream unless they pay. There's also a leaderboard, so people can see like, oh, I've spent X amount of bits on this. I want to be the highest. You know, anything as a leaderboard can give competition, so that's a fun little aspect there. Another thing is the stickers. Stickers, are very similar. They make something pop up on the screen, aka the sticker. This is going to keep popping up, so we're just going to quickly go over it. And basically, certain ones you can add, or really any of them, you can add sound effects to. So for instance, the one of me wearing the dress with the wig on and all that stuff right here, if you click to play that, it will pop up on the stream. A little sticker will appear on the stream, and they can do it multiple times, and it will play that orgasm sound, the same one that's over here, on the stream with that sticker. People love to make things pop up on the stream. They like to have sound effects go through the stream, and you can monetize that. These two are a lot of fun, but please, like I said before, learn your audience, figure out the ones that you think they're most likely to use, and put those down here. There are a lot of different options. Do your research, figure out which ones are gonna work best for you, and then implement those into your stream, and you can definitely increase the amount of revenue you are earning via these extensions. Next up is going to be Streamloots, which is one of my favorite ways that I've managed to earn some revenue, and a lot of the month is actually what brings in the most in terms of money. And it's because it is such a unique thing, and now there's been a lot of things that have followed it, but I still think it has a lot of elements that make it just a little bit above it. And you'll be able to see how it kind of ties into what Twitch did with channel points and the like, but let's just jump right into it. Streamloots is a very unique way of making a little bit of income. It lets the audience, your viewers, impact your stream in ways that a lot of people are now doing with channel points, which of course aren't exactly monetizable. So Streamloots came out first, and it's more of an extension to Twitch, but not a built-in extension, in which you use a browser source that you put on that lets you know if something is done. Some of them can be active browser sources that can make things happen on your stream. Others will just make a card pop up that says, hey, you have to do the chicken dance now. That is one that I use, which we'll go over in a second. But basically, people can buy packs. The packs you can change the price of, and then within those packs there are 3 cards. Those cards can range from commons, uncommons, epics, legendaries, so on and so forth. You can choose the percentage chance of people getting these. So of course, commons, you might have like a 60% chance. Uncommons might be like a 15% chance, and it gets smaller and smaller all the way up to you have like a 0.5% chance of getting a legendary. Now, typically you're going to have the really crazy cards be your legendaries or epics, and then, you know, the random gifts popping on the screen, maybe having to do push-ups being commons or uncommons. But this is a way that your viewers can impact your stream, make you do things, make things pop up on the screen, and you make revenue doing so. So pushing that, not a bad idea. Up front, you make 80% of whatever your viewers pay when they purchase packs. One of the really cool things about Streamloots is that you can adjust the price. So as you can see here, you can get chests for 1 for $1.99, 5 for $8.99, 10 for $14.99, and you can change that. I know some people who do $1 for 1 chest instead of I have $1.99, but then they actually go up in price the higher you get. So they'll let people get a taste for $1, and then if you want to get 5 or 10, instead of $14.99, it might be $16.99 or something like that. And you know, everybody has their own tactic, but it's a very cool thing that you can adjust how much revenue you can make through this. And that allows you, for instance, if you have a very large audience, so you don't want cards being played like every other second, you raise the price, right? Supply and demand. So it's very cool that you can do that. It's a unique thing here to be able to adjust those prices and kind of alter the revenue that you can make. And you can always try one price point, see if you sell a lot, lower it or adjust it based on that. So keep that in mind. You will eventually have to pay taxes on this, which is something that you guys do have to remember. You will get a form. Now, if you get partner, which is not too hard to do, and as you can see here on the screen, I am a partner with them, I make 90% of what my viewers spend on it. So again, for every dollar, I'm gonna make 90 cents. That is a great cut. It is one of the better cuts. As we talked about with extensions with Twitch, you make 80%, they make 20%. That's a general safe one. Same thing we see here with affiliate in terms of Streamloots, but it's a great way to add some excitement to your stream, some engagement, as well as make money on that, which again, kind of adds the monetization aspect to channel points and can do a little bit more crazy stuff with it in terms of making things actually pop up on the screen and all that in a more easy to integrate way. So as you can see, I have a lot of cards added. You can do a lot of fun stuff with them. Make you wear a tiara, make you stop moving in the game or spend all of your money in the round. You got a bunch of spooky stuff, sound effects, making you turn your headset backwards or do push-ups or crouch for a round, make you wear a lipstick. My chat likes to have that one, as well as the chicken dance. They like to make me do that. So there are a lot of different things you can do. And if you're not that creative or you just don't want to do that right away, there are pre-made packs. Some of these that you see here are from pre-made packs. They have a Valorant pack, they have Dead by Daylight packs. They have a bunch. They've already made cards themselves to try to make it easier for you. You can add those in right away. You can put them all in one pack as a collection. You can separate them so people have to buy per game. A lot of interesting things you can do with that, but I just want to give you guys a look at what cards there are and the different things that you can do with them. Another really big way of not only monetizing your content, but also growing your content is going to be with YouTube. So let's get into YouTube, which I think is one of the kings of all of this. With YouTube, as you can see here, once you hit the 1,000 subscriber count, as you see, I have 1764 as time of this video. At 1,000, you can start to earn revenue. You join the partner program, you can start to make a little bit of money. This is a great way to start growing your monetization and also bringing people into your stream. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. On one side, you're going to be growing your audience if you're putting out good content and directing those people to your stream. And on the other side, you are basically earning cash that can be somewhat evergreen or kind of a passive income in a way that, like, you can put out a video and if it continues to bring traffic in months later, years later, you will still be earning revenue on that video. So a great way to have a steady income or somewhat consistent income, especially if you build up your YouTube channel and you start to get more and more views consistently. You know, that 1830 that I've made in the last 28 days could turn into 50 bucks every 30 days, 100 bucks, 200 bucks, 300 bucks, so on and so forth. But you need to keep putting out good quality content, building your audience, and then of course letting that sort of build into its own thing. Another unique way to make some money is via Fiverr or other sites like that. You can do a Patreon. There's all sorts of alternatives, but just to make it simple, we're only going to cover this real quick. You can basically make an account where you offer a service. That could be coaching for a game that you're very good at. That could be coaching for streaming if you feel that you have the knowledge for that. You can do graphic design, digital marketing, all these things you can see right here, music, so on and so forth, as an additional way to make some money and advertise it through your stream. And therefore, people from your stream can have that decision as to whether or not they want to pursue an additional way of supporting your stream and also get something in return. As we talked about before, you have different people. Some are willing to just give. They want to support you for the entertainment you bring them. Others need some sort of tangible item or value that you are giving them outside of just pure entertainment. This is one way for you to do that, depending on what skills you may have to offer. So getting into merchandise, there are a lot of different stores available currently. I mean, a plethora, really. Certain stream applications now, Streamlabs OBS or Stream Element, offer their own stores, as you can see. Here I have Teespring, which is another option that's more of a third party, unrelated, but they have integration with Streamlabs OBS. And of course, on something like Teespring that is more built around this sort of thing, there are way more options. You can see hats, face masks, hoodies, tank tops, sweatshirts, all that. On certain ones, you're not going to get as much. But one tip would be to not only do things like your logo on stuff, as you can see a lot here, but throw other things on there. Maybe phrases you say or catchy terms or fun moments that your stream may get, or that can go outside of your stream, you know, that somebody else might see. Hey, later bot, that's kind of funny. Like, you take somebody out, later bot, or when you get killed, unfortunate, things like that, and then see if that picks up steam. It doesn't have to be just your logo or just some picture of you or that sort of thing. Expand, make your store more than just your logo and see what happens with that. It can be a great way to bring in some revenue. Some of the splits, depending on who you go with, can be better than others. I have 2 stores currently. I do Stream Elements as well as Teespring. There are different shipping prices, different options, sizes, things like that. So explore a little bit on your own, but merchandise, especially when done right, can be a great source of income, and in a lot of ways, advertising as well. Noiz, or Noise, is a website where creators can sign up and get basically offered gigs with publishers, game publishers, to play their games and make money doing so by basically being their marketing arm. So you would play some of these games in front of your audience. The more people you get to sign up, or the more people that watch it, will allow you to earn money. There are other sites popping up similar to this and other ways of doing it, but this is the biggest one I know of, so this is what we're going to cover. You can always do your own research to find that stuff out. Typically, you need a decent, audience, not huge. I mean, like, over 3 basically. If you can get affiliate or something like that, and then you can do these sorts of things. The bigger you get, I think you can get access to larger partnerships or paid gigs by streaming these things. There are other benefits like the early access and free games and stuff to be able to try out. But again, unless you can get your audience to really jump on board with the stuff and you've built that trust and that relationship, they're not going to be these giant payouts, but they are a way of making income, and some people do fairly well with them. Some pay actually a pretty large chunk of change in terms of the number, right? If you can get 15 people to sign up, you make $200 or something like that. That's pretty nice. So something to definitely pay attention to and to look into. It can definitely help bolster the amount of revenue you are earning from your stream. In the same vein, things like affiliate sponsorships or partnerships with companies for supplements or peripherals such as Game Fuel or Razer and the like can earn you some additional money. Most of the time it's going to be like an affiliate code or link that if somebody else uses that, you make a percentage of the sale. Typically not too big of a percentage. Makes sense. They need to make their own income, but it is a thing that you can do. However, some of them will lock you out of other things. So you definitely want to read the fine details, figure out which ones are best for you, pick products you believe in and can actually really push in gentle ways. Again, don't shove things down people's throat, but that is another source of income that plenty of people utilize. They get affiliate links, codes, so on and so forth, and make a little bit of money by putting those out there, so that if somebody decides they want to get G Fuel and you have a code for it, you'll make a little bit of money from them using your code to purchase that G Fuel. Speaking of codes, creator codes are another way to earn some income. Some people are very successful with this, others not as much. Of course, it's going to depend on the size of your audience and how much they want to use your code versus somebody else's, right? Because it's not getting them any sort of discount when it comes to these games like Fortnite, Rogue Company, I believe Call of Duty. It's really just giving you a kickback for what they spend. So a lot of them will do it. Some simply won't, just because there's no benefit to them. It's just giving you some extra money, but make sure you advertise those, put them out there, make these accounts if you play these games. Some people do it even if they don't. A little bit harder to get that going, but hey, who knows? Maybe somebody that watches you play this game also plays that game. If they purchase something, you can get something for it. Last thing on the list is going to be Amazon affiliate. So almost everybody has an Amazon account, and it's really easy to advertise this. Basically what happens, it's another one of those kickback things. If somebody clicks on your Amazon affiliate links, there's a lot of easy ways to put this in. A lot of people put them through their descriptions here on YouTube, which you can see down below. I did the same thing. There is also the Amazon Blacksmith that people will use as like an extension on Twitch, where somebody can see the items you have, right? The specs of your computer, the peripherals you have. If they click those things, if they purchase something while they're on Amazon, I believe even if it's not what you had there listed, it still gives you a kickback because you sent them towards the site. Again, we're talking a very low percentage per purchase, but if you have a very large audience and a lot of people interested in the gear that you have, this is a way that you can actually make a decent amount of money. I know there are some larger streamers who make a lot from these links, especially if a lot of their content is geared towards tech and other things like that. There you have it. Those are the ways that you can start making revenue or improve or increase the revenue that you are already earning via your live streams. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can do it in the comments down below. You can also find me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/heartbreaker_TV. Almost every single night from about 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. That schedule might be changing here soon in terms of every day. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Would love to hear back from you guys. But until next time, stay safe.